Hi, this is a quick rundown of what we did on Friday, setting up a table and playing with a line of best fit in Desmos. So you're going to open up a tab in your internet Chrome, and up at the top, the web address, you're going to type in Desmos, DESMOS.com, and hit enter. And then you're going to click this big red button that says Launch Calculator, and it will take a second to load a new screen for you. It looks like this. You've got a graph with the 4 different quadrants in it, and then you've got some blank spots over here. So first step is to add an item. So you're going to click on the plus sign, click on the table, and then you're going to enter your data that you've either collected or that's given to you from the text. So I'm going to use the data that's in 4-10. It's section 4.1.2. So 4-10 is the data, in case you wanted to try the same thing and follow along. The easiest way to do this for me is to just do all of the X values and then go back and do the Y values. So that's exactly what I'm doing. Just typing the number, hitting enter, it pops you down to the next little box in your table. That's the last one for my X. So now I'm going to go back and do the Y's. Just make sure that you stay in the same order and that your appropriate Y lines up with the appropriate X value. Otherwise your table is going to be off and then your graph is going to be really off. Okay, there's my last one. Okay, so I have my table in here, but as you can see, I don't see any points on my graph yet. So if you come over here and just click on the zoom out button, it's going to change the scale of the graph that you're looking at so that you can eventually see all of your points. So there they are, and I'm ranging from something as small as 21 all the way up to 1020, which you can see on your Y's, your Y values right here. That's why I had to zoom out so far. Okay, so we're going to do a line of best fit, and we're just going to play with it. Eventually I'll show you how to do a true regression line, but right now I just wanted you to get used to playing with the idea of creating your own. So you're going to type in the equation for a line, which is y equals mx plus b. It's important that you use lowercase letters when you do this, otherwise Desmos doesn't recognize the right equation and it won't work out for you. So I'm going to do y equals mx plus b, and then I'm going to click on the add a slider for all. I want slider buttons for both my slope and my y-intercept. So if I scroll down, I've got these two sliders. M is slope, you remember. B is your y-intercept or your beginning point. And you can grab your slider and move it up and down however you want in order to get your slope. This is the slope slider. In order to get the slope the right tilt, okay? So I'm going to do something kind of like that. And then I'm going to play with my y-intercept and try to move it up or down. Now, you can see right here that line is not moving, and there's a really good reason for that. The scale on either end of my y-intercept here is -10 and 10, and the scale of my graph goes clear up to 1,000. So if I want to change that, I'm just going to click on the 10 over here, and I'm going to change my highest number from a +10 to a +1,000, just so that we can get an idea of what that looks like when you move your slider. So now you can see my number over here has changed. So you grab your slider and you can move your line all the way up or all the way down, and it's probably going to be closer to one of these negative numbers on the lower end just by looking at this. So I'm going to try to tilt my line a little bit more, I think, and that's probably pretty good. I probably would want it to go a little bit lower than that, so I'm going to change my negative value to a negative something bigger just so I have a little bit more range where I can move my line down. So there we go. I want to move that down a little bit more so I can grab a couple more of my points. And then I want my tilt to be a little bit higher, so I'm going to, not too much higher though, so I'm going to manually add in something. That's a little bit too much, so I'm going to change it to a 4, maybe a 2. That looks pretty good. I'm in the middle of both those points. I'm going to see if I can get it a little bit closer to some of them. It's about as far over as I can go. So you can see here I've got a line now that's touching a few of my points. It's kind of in the middle of most of them. It's not the best regression line, and we'll get to a model of how to do that eventually, but for now what we're doing, this will work. So my equation for this line would be y equals 2.2, that's the slope, x minus 100 because that's the y-intercept. So when you write out your equation, it would be y equals 2.2x minus 100. And then you can use that to make your estimations.